This is week 4 of trying to eat for only $30 a week. At this point, my grocery cart and my dignity are hanging on by a thread. Now, if you have missed weeks 1, 2, and 3, I will leave all of them down below. In fact, I'll make a whole playlist. The whole playlist will be down below for you. And because this is week 4, we have accumulated some pantry staples. And I have the freedom to buy a few more veggies and buy some more fun items for the week. So without further ado, let's get to that grocery haul. Week 4 for eating for $30 a week. Here is the grocery haul. I do have a couple of things left over from weeks 1, 2, and 3. I will show you that in just a moment. This was actually one of them. This was left over from last week. We have a pizza. Can you believe it? The broccoli is also left over from week 2, I believe, that I never got to. A couple of veggies, side dishes for the week. I have some peas, some cut green beans. This is for one of our dinners, the edamame. This is a favorite of mine. Not only are they delicious, it's chock full of fiber and protein. Picked up some sugar, some cheese, got some new peanut butter. $1.53. Coconut milk, 1 dozen eggs, some bread on clearance. Don't worry, I will show you how to preserve this for the week. Because it was on clearance, we don't want it to go moldy. That's for something else. A cucumber, ginger, garlic, onion, and avocado. At my store, the 2-pound whole carrots, more expensive than the 2-pound baby carrots. That doesn't make any sense to me, but that's what it was. 1 pound of red lentils. We're gonna make a delicious dinner with this. Apples were on sale, so I got an entire 3-pound bag of apples this week. Some popping corn for snacks. These are my snacks over here. Popped corn, the apples, and then I saw that this cinnamon sugar seasoned pretzels, this is an entire pound, on clearance for $1.75, normally over $4. So I went ahead and grabbed this also because it fit in the budget. Now, all of my items for this week came in at $27. I did that on purpose because I wanted to use some spices I already have. Like I didn't want to buy new cumin, right? I didn't want to buy new curry powder. I already have some lemons. So I wanted to be able to utilize that, but still incorporate it into the dollar amount. So I did have $3 extra to like buy a lemon, buy some spices. And obviously I'm not using an entire package of curry powder this week, so it will last a long time. Let's go over items left over. This entire pancake and waffle mix, totally sealed. Beef and chicken bouillon, 1 tube of ground turkey, some broccoli, a little bit of potatoes, cut green beans, a bunch of rice left over, a bunch of tortillas left over, mustard, and some strawberry preserves. And obviously we will kick it off with breakfast with pancakes.
In the morning, I'm making waffles.
I have this entire container and it claims that there are 16 servings on the back, but that's for half a cup of the mix. Here's what it actually says. For 1 cup of the mix, mixed with water, that would give you 5 to 7 pancakes. You could argue that that's a pretty large breakfast. And you can do that 8 times out of this container. So you could have 5 to 7 pancakes every single morning. Now, I do have a little bit of syrup left over from previous weeks, but that's not all we can do. Because for me personally, pancakes is not a go-to. I prefer a savory breakfast, which is where my peanut butter comes in. Now, I don't know about this whole like protein peanut butter. We need to calm down with the protein. Like, why do we gotta add protein to like chips and Pop-Tarts? It feels very weird. But you could just kind of treat it like bread, and I could do pancakes with peanut butter on it. You could do a drizzle of syrup, pancakes with peanut butter and jam, sandwich style. Anyway, let's make pancakes. To be honest, I don't wanna make pancakes every morning, so I'm just gonna do a double batch right now, 2 cups of the mix, and then I'm just gonna stick them in the fridge to pull them out and pop in the microwave. And in case you're wondering, homemade pancakes, like flour, sugar, your own eggs, they do taste better, but if you don't wanna, or you don't wanna learn to cook, you don't wanna buy all the ingredients, this is fine. What's hilarious is like, this has 10 grams of protein, but regular peanut butter, like non-protein, is 7. So they added 3 grams for the protein label. Very interesting. And yes, I love peanut butter. Oh my gosh, it's so good. Look at this, 4 pancakes, what a breakfast. I love it. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Let's make breakfast. For me personally, this is a favorite because it is savory. So with my 12 eggs I have here, I can cook 2 eggs, 1 or 2 tortillas, depending on what you want, some shredded sharp cheddar. Mwah! We are there, that is all I need. And you can do fried eggs, that's actually the quicker way to do it. I prefer scrambled. I did end up using 3 eggs, which means I could only do this for 4 mornings with the amount of eggs that I purchased. If we have some salsa, that would just take it over the top. Don't forget to salt your eggs. They can handle a lot. This breakfast right here is sitting at 31 grams of protein. Isn't that amazing? For one of our dinners this week, we will be making curried lentil soup. Ideally, this will make us 4 servings. Here are the main components. Red lentils, although we're not even using the entire bag. We're only using half the bag, which means you could double it and like freeze the leftovers, or you could save half the bag and make it again next week. 1 onion, 1 piece of fresh ginger, fresh garlic. These are crucial when you're cooking with simple ingredients, like fresh garlic instead of jarred garlic and fresh ginger instead of like a jarred ginger. They're just gonna amp up your flavors. And then 1 can of coconut milk. When did this get so expensive? I am having a hard time finding a good price on coconut milk. So this one's $2.62 right here. So we're gonna continue looking. Okay, I think we got it, $2.12 for this one. I think that's the best we're gonna get. Dollar Tree doesn't sell this anymore, at least mine doesn't. So this is what we have. Here are a couple of additional ingredients, a very, very small sprinkle of crushed red pepper flakes. I'd say 10 cents because we're not using much. I'm gonna add a lime for serving, about 50 cents, maybe a little less depending on where you can buy it. Little bit of curry powder, you can use whatever brand you want. This is the one I already have, 20 cents or so for the amount we're using. And 1 can of diced tomatoes or crushed tomatoes, about $1. I happen to have this one in my house. I'll probably puree this in a blender. To get started on our soup, we need to add a little bit of oil. I am going to saute / sweat my onions. Only the onions are going in. These are gonna cook for 10 minutes or so. And we will season in layers. So this is layer 1, our aromatics. We're gonna come in with a little kosher salt, just a little pinch. Now we are coming in with our 4 cloves of garlic. You don't love garlic as much as me, you can do 2, but I don't know why you would do that.
The garlic will protect you.
And then I grated the ginger using my microplane. That all goes in right now. Keep your heat fairly low. We don't want to burn the garlic. Also coming in with 1 tablespoon of curry powder and a 1/4 teaspoon, mine's heaping because I like it spicy, of crushed red pepper flakes. 2 minutes to let these flavors come together. Oh my Lanta, the smell of the ginger straight in my face as it warms up together. If you haven't tried recipes like this, you really should. 1 cup of rinsed red lentils and my 1 can of tomatoes. I blitzed them in this little guy, so I didn't want any chunks. And I want a heavy, like, teaspoon of salt. I'm gonna cook that for about 1 minute. Fresh pepper.
Grazie.
Okay, now we're gonna add about 2 to 2.5 cups of water and or chicken broth. And I had those chicken bouillon cubes, so I figured why not add more flavor when you can? And I'm gonna be adding most of my can of coconut milk here. So give that a nice shake. Okay, I set aside like a 1/4 cup for serving, and the rest of that can is going all the way in. I'm gonna do a little water and get the rest of that out. Okay, we will now bring this up to a boil and then reduce to a simmer. We're gonna simmer for 20 minutes. And man, if I had just used water and or vegetable stock instead of chicken, this would be vegetarian. Look at that. Okay, this is the 20-minute mark. Now, technically this is a soup, but I'm gonna show you a couple of options for bulking it up, options I really like. Oh my gosh, it's freaking delicious. And don't forget about our lime. Nice little acid punch to cut through the richness. Amazing. And remember that we had leftover rice? It is such an easy, like, meal extender. And then the rice is gonna soak up a lot of that extra juice. And remember that we bought this. I'm keeping this in the fridge for the week so it doesn't get moldy. And I would have preferred naan, but I'm gonna take a couple of these and toast them. Serve those on the side, like a little bit of butter on those when I toast them. Oh my gosh, are you dying? Remember our coconut milk we kept? Oh, We got a little drizzle like that. Oh my gosh, try it. You will not regret it. Let's talk lunches. So I had made so much of the curry that I froze in like those freezer silicone things. 2 servings. These are 2-cup servings of the curry. So I have 2 more lunches ready to go for later in the week, but I'm gonna save those for a few days and I'm gonna pop out my bread that I picked up. Instead, with good old Mr. Peanut Butter. I love a peanut butter sandwich. Peanut butter. In fact, I love 2 sandwiches more than 1 sandwich.
We don't read a lot or run very fast, but damn it, we can eat.
So I have no problem putting together a couple of peanut butter sandwiches, a couple of carrot sticks. Ooh, excited about the carrot sticks. These are fairly small. So 2's kind of like 1. And have you ever tried a grilled PB&J? I mean, that might set you up forever, friends. It really might. Oh, and actually, I could do grilled cheese. So I could do like peanut butter and jam today, 2 grilled cheese tomorrow, because I do have enough cheddar cheese to take care of that. I could do an egg and cheese sandwich, which would be delicious. I'm a simple girl. It's my preserves I bought in week 1. Look what I found in the baby carrots. They're not actually baby carrots. They're big carrots that they just make look small. That's hilarious. I've never seen a big one like that before. Anyway, however many carrots you want, a little bit of ranch on the side. If you want to, you don't have to. Of course, maybe some apple also. I could do the pretzels as well. A couple of days of lunches. Simple, fast, and yummy. For 2 of our lunches, I picked up this little pizza. Got it on sale, it's $1.99. Nutritional facts, for half the pizza is 640 calories and a whopping 28 grams of protein. So this is basically protein pizza. In fact, hang on, I'll fix that. Oh, look. Protein pizza. It says it on the box, it must be true. Italian spice and crushed red pepper. I love this pizza. How adorable. And I'm going peas because they're so filling. There's tons of fiber and pretty high in protein for a vegetable, honestly. So 2 servings of this bag, so half of this bag, is gonna be another 10 grams of protein and 8 grams of fiber. Love that for me. Lunch for today and tomorrow, dunsies. Delicious. Okay, this is a huge amount of peas. Oh my word, this is so much. I always thought I didn't like peas when I was a kid. That's because people were giving me canned peas, canned green mush, bleh. But fresh and or frozen are quite delicious. I'm a simple girl when it comes to peas. A little bit of salt, a little pat of butter. I am done. Let's make some snacks. So I bought this popcorn and I found this microwave popper at Walmart for just a couple dollars. It was on clearance, although I have seen these online. This is the mini size and you should be able to just put this in the microwave. And I have a hole in this bag right here, so that's why it's sitting odd. I should probably relocate this into a jar or something. I will do a quarter cup of the kernels right here. And we're putting just a little bit of butter on this lid that will melt and drip on it as it goes. I'll add salt at the end. I'm gonna go a little under a tablespoon of butter right there. While that's cooking, I relocated my popcorn into this guy. I was checking out the nutritional information. 1/4 cup is actually 2 servings. If every snack was that amount, I would get about 13 snack servings out of this guy. I could literally have popcorn every day, twice a day at that amount. And there's actually a good amount of fiber. If I do the full 1/4 cup and I eat all of it, that's 12 grams of fiber. That's not bad. All right, we have just under 3 minutes here and oh, I need to clean my microwave. That looks pretty good. A little bit of salt. So how much popcorn is this really? Let's measure it. This is a 4-cup measuring cup. And we are more than that. It definitely didn't look like it all popped, but I'd say 5-ish cups of popcorn. Add as much salt as you want or any other seasonings. That is not bad. Let's do another snack. Now I bought a ton of apples, which I thought would be great for snacks, as well as this clearance bag of pretzels. Pretzels are a big hit in my family, and checking out the back, we have 16 servings at approximately 28 grams per serving. But I only have a week and I want more pretzels than that. So I'm gonna double up the pretzel amount. If I did 1 apple, and some pretzels every day in the afternoon, I would have enough to do it every single day. And then you add on my popcorn snack, that's not bad for the week. Okay, I have my food scale right here. Put a plate on it, it is set to grams, and I have zeroed it out. That is 57 grams. And that's actually a lot of calories. Just in the pretzels, I'm looking at 260 calories right here. Plus, I don't know, depending on the size of the apple, this one's fairly small, maybe another 80 or so. Oh, a little peanut butter on the side. Now we're talking. Welcome to our next dinner. We're gonna make Korean beef bowls. I will be using ground turkey instead of ground beef because it's so much cheaper. We'll build a beautiful sauce, a nice base for our ground turkey, utilize our fresh ginger, a little bit of garlic, and then we're just gonna top it with tons of veggies, which will be delicious. Oh, I forgot to get my edamame out, but we will be utilizing it for this dinner. So start some rice cooking in your preferred method, Instant Pot, on the stove, rice cooker, whatevs. Okay, starting with the sauce, we're gonna do a half a cup or just under of brown sugar and an equal part of the soy sauce. And I do like having like a good bit of sauce to soak into my rice. If you don't like it saucy, you could probably half this. A little crushed red pepper to your liking. If you have some sesame oil, this would be a great spot for it. I don't, but we do want to add our fresh ginger. So maybe about an inch grated right in here. There you go, that is our sauce. Start browning your ground turkey, and I'm gonna add a couple of cloves of diced garlic once this is about halfway cooked. Okay, when your beef is cooked, add your sauce and just simmer it for a couple of minutes and you're done. So I cut up my cucumber, shredded a whole bunch of the carrots, I got my avocado. If you have this is not necessary, but if you have it, it's a nice addition. If you have some rice vinegar, I have these little packets, a little pshk in your cucumber will make a nice quick pickle. So, and then we can build. So this is for dinner tonight, plus I'm gonna meal prep 3 containers. So I have these 3 containers and I made a lot of rice, a lot, a ton of rice. So we'll make a nice mound there and that's all of it. Oh, no, I have a chunk in there still. Each one of these has 2 cups of cooked rice at least. This one's probably closer to 3. Ideally, each container gets about 4 ounces of the cooked turkey, and then I'll divvy up the sauce. So these 3, I want my toppings to be semi-cold, except for my edamame, which I just cooked in the microwave for about 4.5 minutes or so. All this needs is a little bit of salt sprinkle on top. This is a favorite in my family. And then when I reheat these, I do want this cooked. So these can go in just as is, just like this. A little bit of salt right on top of those. Okay, these are ready for the lids to be put aside. And then my cucumber, shredded carrot, avocado goes on day of. Let me show you what it looks like right here. So I like to make piles of stuff. So a nice pile of the shredded carrot over here, edamame here, got a nice pile of my cucumber over there, and then a little bit of avocado. Have you seen how to get the pit out safely? I saw this online and I couldn't believe it worked. So I'm gonna push right there, just with your thumb. Oh my gosh, well, that one stuck a little bit. How come I'm just now learning this? Was today years old? So we can put saran wrap on one of them and stick it in the fridge. These are my go-tos for this dish, but of course, if there's something you don't like, leave it out, no big deal. How delicious does this look? If you have a few more dollars in the budget, you could go in for like a Korean sauce on top, but you don't have to. The meat is seasoned excellently and there was extra sauce there. A little bit of salt on top. My friends, this is freaking money. Okay friends, that is week 4 of eating for $30 a week. Keep in mind, I started this entire series with my 2 oldest kids in mind. They are 21 and 19 years old, and they have moved out. They're doing the whole adulting thing on their own. So I wanted to approach this with, they really have nothing, very little cooking skills, and they don't want to spend hours and hours in the kitchen every single night. Easy, semi-quick, and approachable for new adults. If you enjoyed this series, go ahead and share it with someone who might find some value. And if you did enjoy it, maybe you would enjoy my Feeding a Family starting from scratch series, which I just started. I will leave that one down below as well if you have not seen it. Subscribe if you want to see more cooking content and more shenanigans coming up next. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. I'll see you in the next one. Bye. But wait, there's more. I have decided that 2026 is the year of live music. I am on a journey to go to as many concerts as possible. Problem, I don't live near a large metropolitan area. So far this year, I have seen Andy Grammer, Matt Carney, One Republic, The Maine, and I have tickets to see the Goo Goo Dolls, 5 Seconds of Summer, the band Camino, and one just came up that's coming relatively close. Do I go see AJR? My son really likes them, and my sister and her son really likes them. Have you seen AJR? What do you think? Tickets are on sale today. So AJR, yes, no, just like every band that comes semi-close to where I am, do we just go to all of them? We just suck it up and go to all of them? Is that what we're doing? It feels like a good plan. What are your thoughts? Do you love live music? Do you love music in general? Who are your favorite bands? What concerts are you going to this year? I got to know.